Hi, welcome back. So now we will see the admin configuration for the TSI Privacy Vault. So I've just installed the and created the system admin credentials. I will now log in as the system admin. And I get to see on the left nav entities, utilities, users and API keys. Users, I mean, it's just admin as of now. The admin should get the recovery key and sort of store the recovery key somewhere safe. And I think in order to start the configuration, so the admin needs to go to the entities, add the entities. So for example, there are three types of entities. One is a data, the other one is ID and a file. IDs are like your digital IDs, like let's say if you're capturing voter ID, right, and you say voter ID. Yeah, so this is an ID that I'm collecting for my business. Let's say I'll collect one more ID, which is PAN, right? And let's say I collect the customer name, which is a data. So name. Or let's call this as customer name. There could be other names also. So let's call this as cust name. Right? And I can add one more, like let's call this as cust address. So that is again of type data. This would be customer address, right? And let's say now for the customers I'm collecting some, let's say their the mark sheet, right, or some report, right? Let's call this as their medical report, medical report, right? This would be of type file, and let's call this as fitness report. Let's say this is a document that we are collecting from the customers, right? So this document again needs to be kept in the privacy vault, right? So you sort of define it this way, right? So now if you see here, I have two IDs, I have two data fields, and I have one file, right? So this is the entities that I sort of create. And let's say now I want to also register some utility. For my application, I'm using a secret store for storing the DB URL, DB password, etc. So I can define all of them here, right? So let's say my DB URL, right? So this is a key, right? Local host, whatever it is there, right? So that would be my DB URL. So I can do one more. This one, my DB name, test, right? So I can define my DB pass. right? I can define, as an administrator, I can also define my secrets here, right? So I have defined all personally identifiable fields in entities, and I've also defined utilities. The next I would do is I'll go create an API key for the app that will be using these information. So let's say my app. So it sort of generates a key and a secret. So I sort of register and I store my API key, app API key, and the app secret. Right. Yeah. So I sort of registered my API, and for the API I need to give permissions. So we'll say, okay, now this entity customer address, right? I will give all the read and the write permission, customer name, read and write permission, fitness report permissions, PAN permission, voter ID permission. Similarly, for all the utilities also, I will give the read access for the DB name, DB pass, and the URL. Yeah, so this is pretty much the configuration. So thanks for watching.